To show one thing, and basically, it's something that I noticed, and even watching, professional pro teams who, in my opinion, I think don't have great basketball IQ, and in my also opinion, they don't have great 2K IQ, but they have great online 2K IQ, and I mean that's why they're way better than I am, so I can't talk. Uh, but something I noticed from them comparing to us is something that I remember hearing about from Sun Tzu, who was an ancient Chinese philosopher who wrote The Art of War, which is a book that has like hundred, I think, techniques and knowledge about war and how to handle it. That is very popular and still used today. One of the things he said was that if you are weaker than your opponent, and I'm paraphrasing, I might have the words wrong. I probably have the words wrong. Then create chaos. And if you are stronger than your opponent, so if you're weaker than your opponent, create chaos. If you're stronger than your opponent, establish order. Basically saying that if you're weaker than your opponent, be chaotic, make them uncomfortable, right? In basketball, for example, that means play full court defense, play fast break offense, pressure the ball handler. Oh, you're not a great skill team, you're not a very athletic team, you're not this and that, but play so chaotic that you're making the other team uncomfortable, even though the other team is better than you, right? And in real life, an example of this was the Vietnam War. Even though US in the 70s was a world power, one of the strongest armies in the world, fighting against Vietnam, a small nation, you would think it's an easy war, but why did the US lose? The US lost because the Vietnam used guerrilla warfare. They used guerrilla tactics, where basically they would be chaotic. They would do small, quick battles. They would hide in the rainforests. They would jump out, attack very quickly, and then disappear back into the rainforests in Vietnam. That it was very hard for the US soldiers, even though they were more powerful and a stronger army, big number, whatever, they couldn't do anything about it because of this guerrilla tactics, this creating chaos that the weaker army did. Same thing in basketball. When you're weaker than your opponent, you create chaos. When you're stronger than your opponent, you establish order. What does it mean to establish order? To me, that means pace. When I know that I can score on you, when I know that I'm better than you, I'm going to establish my pace. And I think a good example of this was the 2004 Pistons against the Los Angeles Lakers, that they fell into this trap where they did not establish their pace. In the finals, the Pistons knew that they're the weaker team, right? They don't got Shaq, they don't got Kobe. The Lakers are stacked. But what did they do? Even Kobe mentioned this. One of his regrets about the 2004 finals is that he wished that he had established knowledge into the players of the offense better. He wished that he had done that, because basically he said that the Pistons were full court pressing, 3/4 courts pressing, to where it made the Lakers uncomfortable. It created that chaos, which made it harder for them to get into their sets, which made it harder for them to get the ball into Shaq. Because Shaq is such a dominant interior force that all you need to do is establish him, right? If you establish him, he's gonna dominate, right? He's not like a Steph Curry that here's the bring the ball up court. No, he's an dominant established force at the basket. So you have to establish him close to the basket and get him the ball, which is why a lot of people run towards this new guard centered offenses. But it's still very effective if you have a team that can establish that. So just like Sun Tzu said, right? If you're stronger, establish order. If you're weaker, create chaos. And so I noticed that we would do this a lot, to where we would really be, chaotic offensively. I mean, look at this possession here. One, that's terrible. We got a good shot if I didn't, move, and we had 10 seconds left on the shot clock, right? Okay, fine, not too bad. Let's see the next offensive possession. That's just stuff. Oh, there's not much to say about that, right? Look at the shot clock. Look at the possession we have. And one, I will never criticize Hassan, because I've played point guard. Playing point guard is really tough. You see that? Like, he gave the ball up at 17 seconds, right? 7 seconds in, we have lost all order. As soon as Hassan passes the ball, we've lost all order. We're into chaos. And so, in my opinion, I don't mind Hassan missing people. I don't mind the point guard, especially not Hassan, intentionally saying, I know you're open, but I'm not going to pass it to you, right? Intentionally, like, saying, I'm not going to make those passes, to make sure that we establish an offense. Because then here you can see we get into that, and now we don't have anything, and it's tough. Next possession as well. I think they get a fast break right here. Again, that's tough. But notice that. We'll go again. And so it's just that we went really fast all the time, and I think that's something that we could improve on. Even here, I think we're going to go really quickly. And again, you watch professional pro teams, they're not passing the ball. Right, 18 seconds in, Hassan already starting to pass. And again, it's because he's unselfish and he's trying to make plays for others. But in my opinion, Hassan, keep that ball, brother. Don't pass. Miss people. I don't mind if you miss 10 people if we end up getting a good shot at the end of it.